Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, Jazz Hands.
We're turning the tables, rewriting the rules, letting the world know that success is not reserved for the privileged few. Every dreamer, every believer, every fighter has a chance to rise above. Together, we will find your path and change your future. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, at Meridian Community College, you are worth it. Now is your time. Find your wings.
And we are back, and this is an MCC Today first. They literally gave us something to drink on set. This is amazing. We have the wonderful Miss Lily Fleming. How are you doing?
Hi, doing good.
And you have brought us your son.
My son.
And what is your son's name?
Ozzie Gene Fleming.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Let's sit
goodness.
down.
Now, Ozzie Gene is an emotional support animal.
He's my emotional support animal.
Okay.
He doesn't have any paperwork or anything, but that's what me and my husband, our kids went off to college, got left at home with no kids, and we needed something to do with our time, so we adopted Ozzie Gene.
Now, how long have you had him?
He's 2. He turned 2 in August 10th.
Did you get him as a puppy?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, he was a puppy.
Okay, so what benefit has he brought to you?
He has brought staying very busy.
Okay.
One thing about Golden Doodles, there's a lot. They're very fun. They're very good dogs. They're very active dogs. But there's a lot of grooming with them. There's brushing and baths. So there's a lot to do. So they keep you very busy. I don't
Which is
recommend
what
them
you
for
needed
people.
at that time.
That's what I needed. I don't
Okay.
recommend a Golden Doodle for people with small kids. And just basic anxiety with stress.
How can you be stressed out when you're petting a dog?
Right, you can't be. And, which I am a dog person. I became a dog person when I got older. I have 4 other dogs.
Okay. Did your husband like the idea of you getting Ozzie Gene?
No, he did not like that idea. So that is the reason why his middle name is Gene, because he's named after his dad. That's his dad's middle name. Ozzie Gene. Sit in. Okay.
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 Now, for others, do you recommend getting an emotional support animal, or
Yes, like
emotional
any-
support dog, or can you say any virtual
animal? Any animal. My daughter goes to Mississippi State, and she had a Yorkie in high school that we got her because she had bad anxiety and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And her first year, of course, she had to live in the dorms, and she couldn't take them with her. And her anxiety really went up a whole lot during that year, which of course she was a freshman. So her
And
second
anxiety
year,
does not help you when you're trying to have tests and
when
stuff
you're
like
having
that,
tests,
does it?
right, it doesn't
Well,
at all.
I'm pulling our desk back.
Sorry, we're going to need to pull you back.
But
the second year,
reduce
when
her anxiety?
when she got her apartment and he got to go up with her, I mean, her anxiety got a whole lot better. She's a senior; she'll graduate in December. But it's just amazing the benefits that you get from an animal that you don't realize personal what they can do for you.
Oh, yes.
As far as stress, you had a bad day at work, you're mad, you're irritated, you come home and they're jumping on you, happy to see you, and you're just not able to be upset or irritated about anything anymore.
You know, we actually thought about doing something for midterms or finals, have like a petting zoo for our students to come in and, help with anxiety around that time. That might be something we continue to look into.
Yes,
but,
that's why we wanted to do it around this time.
Now, in addition to the service animal and emotional support, you had something you wanted to say about the FAFSA?
Yes, so October, every year, because I'm in financial aid, we need to talk about financial aid.
Yes.
Every year,
Which is
on
stressful
October
sometimes.
1st, which had already passed, the new FAFSA for the upcoming school year comes out, which starts August 1st of 2024.
Okay.
And you know, there are people that don't procrastinate and do their FAFSA on time. Well, they may be out there looking for it, but it's not available right now. They're changing the FAFSA. It's going to be a new simplified application. So it's going to be available, they said, sometime in December.
Okay.
There's not a date.
So it's not available now,
It's not
so don't
available
look
now,
for it.
so don't
It will
look
be
for
available.
it. But you do need to log in to your studentaid.gov website. All students do, because student loans have started back October 1st, after the hiatus of over 3 years. And they will be looking for those payments, so they need to log into their studentaid.gov website, studentaid.gov site, and get their find their student loan servicer, find out who they are, and contact their loan servicer to make arrangements to start making those payments.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming by
Thank
today,
you.
and thank you for bringing Azu Jean.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we're here with Mr. Curtis Beckman. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, what is your official title here?
I am an instructor for software coding.
Okay, and you've been doing this for a while now?
Yeah, 22 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many students do you typically accept into your program?
A dozen, about
Okay.
a dozen.
Okay. Do you only accept in the fall or fall and spring?
As far as how the schedule works, it's better if you come in the fall.
Okay.
There's a lot of beginning courses that you have to take before you take the advanced courses.
Okay.
But if someone does show interest and want to come in the spring, we put them in as much as we possibly can. But
Okay.
it may take you 5 semesters instead of 4.
Okay. But you typically try to stick to about 12.
Yes.
Okay. Do they have to have any prerequisite classes before they come to you?
No.
So they can start out?
We take the college entry exam or an ACT 15. If you don't score that, you can take other courses, like go ahead and take your English and math, and when you pass those are also qualifiers.
Okay. Okay. So coding, this is something that's exploding.
Yes.
We need coders badly, right?
Yes, we changed our program from computer programming to software coding, and there's not a whole lot of difference, but I think it might be confusing why we made that change. With software coding, it's more of a complete package.
Okay.
That if someone designs an app, say on a phone, they will have to specifically code it for that phone. Okay?
Okay.
But if you use a web browser, then anything that has a web browser can use that app, right?
Okay.
So we can learn how to code, and it will work on Android or iPhone the same without having to be specifically coded for that device, and that requires, additional training. But we can do JavaScript and other code behind the page and a little bit of database, and it's called full stack programming. That means you can code the front end, the main body of the program, and handle the database behind. And that's what employers are looking for now. So we've went real intensive on trying to teach that to our students.
What's the job market like?
We have had
Excuse me.
a lesser amount of students for COVID and everything else, but we've had 100% placement for a long time now.
Okay.
Generally, as far as employment, we usually run out of students before we run out of jobs.
Okay. Are the salaries competitive?
Yes. Usually with this program, employers are looking for you to get a couple years into it.
Okay.
The average salaries is around 75, but
okay.
but yeah, it might take you a couple of years to get there. You know, sometimes people who are not really cut out for the market will drop off in that first 2 years. So if you make it past that 2 years, employers will see that you made it and know that if you made it 2 years in the industry, you must have some talent and they will hire you. So your opportunities just explode as your career goes forward.
Is it beneficial to get additional education?
Yes, yes. It always is, but it's not necessary.
The experience part is.
If you can demonstrate what you can do, it's one of the few industries left where you can excel if you're good at it, and it doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's always a good idea to get more education, a higher degree. But I have students who, I'm thinking of one in particular, makes $100K and with his associates because he's just a good programmer.
Okay.
He goes to work for an employer making, I don't know, around 40, and shows that he's a good programmer. Before I know it, he's...
Do you need to know anything, or how much about computers do you need to know before you get in the program? How much about coding do you need to know?
You don't need to know any coding. Computers, we do remediation if someone is, you know, behind. But generally, if you can get on the computer and you can browse the internet, you know enough to get started. Because it's not a great deal of computer knowledge for the program.
Okay.
Obviously, the coding is something that you have to learn, but it's not something you have to already know on the computer, right? It's something that's got to be totally taught for everybody. So even if you're not so good at computers and you go into a program with somebody who's a whiz, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a better programmer than you.
Okay.
Because that uses a different part of the brain than just general computer knowledge.
Does someone need to be really good at math or really good at, at
math,
science kind of?
Math helps because with computer programs, you're generally taking a problem, pulling out the logical steps that you need to solve that problem, and then write your program to solve it. And that is very relatable to math word problems.
Okay. Well, this is not a career that's going to go away anytime soon.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
This will be around for a while, and we're going to
right.
need more of them.
When you go into a place of business and you see that a position has been changed to like an automated station, somebody still has to maintain that automated station, and that is, computer programming. Somebody's got to program that to work. Somebody's got to keep it in a state of repair.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of technology proof.
Well, good. Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and I want to have you on again.
Sure. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we are back, and we have the wonderful Miss Katie Barret. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, let me just say, because it took a little bit of strong arm tactics to get you on the show, but I'm glad you're on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, you have been working here at Meridian Community College for how long now?
A little over 3 months.
How's it been?
It's been great. We had a really busy fall.
We did.
Getting everybody admitted and registered, so cruising down. We're going to pick up for spring again soon.
Okay. Now, what is your exact title?
I am the Dual Education Coordinator for MCC.
Okay. Now, what does that mean?
I work with all of the high school students within Lauderdale County, mainly, and get them admitted and registered for classes. I work as their advisor. I can provide them information on academic classes, and we do have career and technical classes as well for our high school students.
I cannot tell you how angry I am that this is offered now and it was not offered when I was in high school 40 million years ago, because I would have taken full advantage of it.
Exactly.
But now, what are the criteria for students to be able to take dual enrollment classes?
So you have to be qualified for academic classes. You have to be qualified as a high school junior or senior.
Okay.
For our career and technical, you have to be a sophomore, junior, or senior.
Okay.
Their classes start a little earlier in their program. A 2.0 GPA for our career and technical, and a 3.0 for our academic classes.
Do you have to have had the ACT test?
So recently, they just took it off. It was an admission requirement for both academic and CTE. You had to have test scores on file.
Okay.
You can either take ACT or the AccuPlacer that we offer here at MCC. They recently removed the requirement for our CTE students.
Okay.
So a lot of sophomores haven't taken the ACT yet, so that was a big push getting them all tested AccuPlacer-wise. This semester is the first semester. It's not an admission requirement for CTE. Academic, you do have to have test scores on file, because a lot of our academic classes, a good bunch of them have prerequisites and course placement requirements.
Okay. Now, what is the advantage that a student has for taking dual enrollment?
It's a great way to jumpstart like your college education, and especially for those high school students that they're juggling their high school classes, extracurriculars. It's a good way to kind of like dip their feet into college, get to see what it's like to be a college student, and kind of help get an idea early on of maybe what they want to do.
I would think money-wise that would be at an advantage too.
Yes.
Because you're reducing the amount of time that you would have to spend in
Right.
college.
But say if you take full advantage of it, you could have, if you took full advantage of for academic-wise, you could have about 30 credits by the time you graduated high school.
Okay.
CTE, their programs function a little differently, so not quite as many, but you can get a good number of credits under your belt before you graduate high school.
Now, how many classes are you allowed to take per semester?
So right now, for both academic and CTE, they are allowed 2 classes per semester at our discounted rate.
Okay.
So academic, they can take those spring, summer, and fall.
Okay.
Our CTE programs only work in the spring and fall, no summer.
And the discounted rate is just for the class. Now, you still have to
Yes.
pay fees and lab
Yes.
fees and things like that, and for textbooks.
Yes, so for our Lauderdale County residents, at Meridian Public School District, Lauderdale County School District, we work with Russell, Lamar, and our Pentecostal Christian Academy. If you're a Lauderdale County resident and you attend any of those schools, they get a $50 tuition rate.
Okay.
On top of that, like you said, I think right now our going rate is $25 per credit hour, so it just depends how many credit hours you have that you're taking. That's in addition to our tuition, but it's still a great discount.
It's still a great
Yeah.
deal. But so it's basically 2 classes that you can, but if you want to take a third class,
can.
you can, it's
Yes.
just not at that discounted rate.
Anything over our 2 is going to be our full price tuition per credit hour. So.
Now, is this just for fall and spring, or is summer included as well?
Summer is included for academics. So the rate, like if you got the $50 tuition rate, or if you wanted to go over, same thing goes for our academics, spring, summer, and fall.
Why didn't they have this when I was young?
They had it when I was in school and I took it, but
And
now
you're making me feel really old, but I appreciate that.
listen, it's been about 10 years. But
I wish I could say it were 10 years. No, but
they've recently, for academic and CTE actually, they have started working those classes into their school day.
okay.
All of mine, not that long ago, were after school or online classes.
Okay.
So a lot of them, so if they're taking their English class at their high school, if their teacher is qualified and they sign up to be a teacher through MCC for it, they can get their high school credit and their college credit within their school day instead of doing something after school or online.
I have known a couple of students at least who would take advantage of this and would graduate from high school in May and then graduate with a 2-year degree the following August.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you take advantage and you're a motivated student and you work with me and you do your research and see what you want to do, you can get yourself way ahead in college before you ever graduate high school.
Are a lot of students taking advantage of this?
Most of my dual credit students this semester, they are completely maxed out at their 2 classes. I do have a handful that they were like, hey, I want to register for that 3rd class full price, and they're doing it because they want to get a big jump start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is a big jump start.
Yeah, especially for like our nursing students, those are the prerequisites and all of that stuff. It can get them ahead, and if you work hard enough, you could technically, if you got in, go to nursing right after you graduate high school.
Now this is, and I'm not throwing you under the bus or anything like that, but if you don't know the answer to this, but does this affect your Pell Grants or anything when you do complete
Yes.
high school?
So the double-edged sword there.
Okay.
So I believe if you hit 30 credit hours, I'm not so sure about Pell Grant, but for our freshman scholarships, once you hit 30 credit hours, you're no longer classified as a freshman because you have so many credits.
Right.
So that could null out some of your freshman scholarships.
Okay, but so we don't know about Pell Grants or how that would affect Pell Grants, perhaps.
I think it would have an effect because the hours and the eligibility, but I'm not sure on the Pell Grant side of things.
Okay, but the thing is, we have a lot. I mean, there is no reason you cannot take advantage of this because the classes, as you say, are worked into the schedule of the
Yeah,
school.
now.
You don't even have to come here to take them.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on the show today. And after you've been here 6 months or a year, we're going to have
I'll
you
come
on
back.
again.
Every 3 months I'll come
Every
back.
three, yes, just to see how things are going. Okay.
Okay, sounds perfect.
We'll be right back.
MCC costs less and gives you more. Are you ready to jumpstart your career but don't have the time for a traditional 4-year degree? Meridian Community College can have you workforce ready in as little as 1 semester. We have workforce programs ranging from 1 semester to 2 years with experienced instructors and hands-on training that will help you gain the skills you need to succeed and start earning a paycheck sooner. Find your wings at Meridian Community College.
And we're here with Mr. Tony D'Angelo. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, your official title is?
Supreme Lord and Commander of Everything.
I like that. I like that. But that's my title.
Oh, that's fair.
You can be Assistant Lord.
I think my official title is Program Coordinator of So I'm the Network and Cybersecurity Instructor.
Okay.
And then Program Coordinator of Information System Technologies.
Okay, so that's
a lot.
Definitely that is a lot. Now, this is a 2-year program.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and do you accept students only in the fall or fall and spring?
Fall and spring. Their schedule may be a little wonky if they start in the spring, but it is something that they can substitute some of their general education classes for. So.
Okay, and how many students do you typically accept in the fall?
In the fall, I think we're up to 25.
Okay.
So this career field especially is in desperate need of qualified individuals.
So to say cybersecurity,
Yes.
you hear all kinds of, computers being hacked and this being hacked in this hospital system.
Yes.
And so this is what you're training people to hopefully prevent, right?
Yes, to make sure that they're able to work on the network, administer the network, and make sure that network is secure and stays that way.
So it's a 2-year program, and they get an AAS degree.
Yes.
Okay. And so the jobs are available?
Yes, absolutely. For the past 4 or 5 years, our placement rate has been at 100%.
Okay.
So
and
when they
money
come out,
is good?
the median, I just looked this up last week, the median salary for a cybersecurity analyst is $75,000 a year.
Okay.
So the money is good.
And then as experience grows,
you can make more money very easily with experience, with additional education, additional certification.
and so do you recommend additional education for your students?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a point where you have to look and say, okay, if I get like a master's degree, how much money can I make with that? Is it going to be worth it at that point? If I get a doctorate degree, am I looking at a job that's going to give me the potential for that? But I always recommend going forward and getting additional education. That's always a good bet. Always going through and getting additional education, additional certifications, and that may be something that you're just like, okay, this is a position I want to do. I can get a certification in doing this, and it'll help me get that position. That's the cool thing about our industry. there's a lot of different ways to get that position you're looking for. It's not necessarily like a standard degree like a bachelor's or a master's, or it could be an associate's with certifications. It could be a high school degree with certifications. But it's just really, the degree always helps for sure. And I strongly recommend at least getting an associate's degree.
What kind of prerequisites does a student need?
So for my program, none.
Pardon me.
Right now, I think you have to have an ACT score of 15 or higher. Really, we're looking for students who enjoy problem solving, have strong critical thinking skills, have a passion for knowledge. This is the IT industry.
Do they need to know much about computers before they come into you?
No, we structure the program from the ground up. So if you don't have any experience or any knowledge, that's fine, that's great. You can come in and we'll go through the whole program with you, and you'll have a much better understanding by the time you graduate. So yeah.
So what kind of jobs are out there for graduates of the program?
Whether locally, there's a bunch. It can be IT help desk. Those are usually strong entry-level positions. Network admin positions, potentially assistant network admin positions. There's all kinds of fun job openings in the IT industry.
What type of student, like if somebody's sitting watching television and like, I don't know what I want to do, you know, what kind of person do you think would be good in this program? Maybe what kind of hobbies they have, or?
It can depend on a wide range. Really, you just want to be able to, if you want to enjoy doing something different every day, if you enjoy studying, if you enjoy learning new skills and stuff like that.
Because it's never the same.
Yes, it's never the same. There's always stuff changing. What technology looked like 10 years ago is completely different from what it does today. What it looks like 10 years from now is going to be completely different. It's really cool and exciting to see that progression and to be a part of that. So critical thinking skills, problem solving, if you enjoy that, and really if you have a passion for learning, you're always welcome.
Are you surprised at where the industry is now?
Yes. AI is crazy, and it's super cool, and there's a whole lot of questions that come along with it and stuff like that. We don't have Skynet yet, so that's cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, the industry's it's cool and amazing.
Did you foresee where we would be?
No, I thought Terminators 1, 2, 3, and 4 did a really good job of trying to move us away from AI, but we just don't listen.
We do not. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. I enjoyed being here.
We'll be right back.
The path to your future is only a click away. Find your wings at MCC.
On behalf of executive producers Matt Milner and Tanisha Clark, media mogul Josh Taylor, and student producer Paris Hobson, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next week.